Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome everyone. Join the session, guys. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, we are live. Yes, 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 we are live now. View 9444. Hello, hello, man. Hello, welcome. Join, guys. Let's start the session. Everyone, join quickly. So, are you all excited? Sunday night, I guess everyone is free today. Okay, according to my time zone, it's Sunday Eve. Okay, and maybe it will be Sunday morning or afternoon or for. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Join. So, how's life going? We are now in the day 9. So from day 1 now we have successfully completed 8 live session and we are on our ninth live session. Okay. So yeah. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my friend. And risk. Hello to all. Hello. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. So how many of you are new today who are just joining the session today only? Yes, guys. How many of you are joining just today? So those who are just joining today in the day 9, for you guys, I just like to tell one thing. Continue with this, okay? And risk, I am new here, okay, man? So learn from this session, okay? And if you are confused in any one of the topics, so all the previous 8 live sessions, okay, which were continue from 1st August, all those videos are already in the channel, okay? So you can go and learn from those videos also, okay? So the playlist name is August Python Bootcamp. You can go and explore that playlist. I guess it's Sunday Eve, no? Today is Sunday, so I don't think that most of the people will be available. Okay, but let's hope for the best that more people should join this lecture because this lecture is also very important because as you know, it's based on advanced object-oriented programming. Okay, so let's do what, guys? Let's start the session. Yeah, let's start it and let's see each and everything and each and every concept. So, okay. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this live session. This is August Python Bootcamp going on today. This is the day 9 of 18 of 15-day series of this particular bootcamp. And I'm your friend, I'm your guide, I'm your Python tutor, Piyush Kumar. So let's start today, okay? I will show the last session later. Yes, man. Sure. So guys, let's now start. So first of all, by the end of this session, guys, you will be able to understand, okay, the outcomes. First of all, you will be able to understand the inheritance and its types, okay? Then you will be able to understand that how you can implement single, multiple, multi-level and hierarchical inheritance, okay? Not only that, understanding encapsulation and data handling. Then we will learn today that how we can create abstract classes and abstract methods. And we'll learn that how we can create those classes and what are the use of these abstract classes and methods. Then we'll understand the concept of method overriding. Okay. And we'll talk and we'll see that why Python does not support the traditional method of overloading. Okay. And then we'll at the last we'll see some of our magic methods. Okay. Without camera. Hello, sir. Hello, brother. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Abdul Malik Muhammad. I'm from Ghana. Please, could you get me a remote internship? Can I get hands-on and industrial experience? Brother, don't look for an internship. Just directly look for a job only if you want to switch, okay? Because uh, internships or see free internships or paid internships are not available. Okay, nowadays internship schemes are very high. Okay, so don't look for an internship, just look for a job only. Okay, because in our market there are no internships. Okay, and if there are internships also, then there are paid internships. Means you have to pay to learn. Okay, and then you'll get the certificate. So that is the scenario in the market. Okay, and currently we also don't require any, means now we have stopped hiring interns. Okay, so that's the scenario. But if you want some paid internship, so then we can provide that. But okay, so that is there. I hope you understand my point. The market is very high. Okay, and really, if anyone needs an intern also, then they require a very highly skilled. Okay, so they will conduct three or four layers of interview rounds, and then you have to clear those rounds. So it's very difficult. Okay, okay. So the internship scheme is very high. Now, guys, let's go to the topic and let's understand that. Okay. Now, guys, let me just do what? Let me just give you a situation. Okay. Now, suppose you guys, suppose now you are to build a college management system. Okay. Now, in colleges, in college management system, you have a student, you have teachers, you have staffs, okay? Administration staffs, teachers are also there, student also there. Now, my question is that you have student also, you have teacher also, you have staff also. Now, all these student, teacher, staffs, they all have what? Something is common in them, that name, age, addresses. Okay, so these are few values which is will be common for all. Means these properties will be common for all of them. Okay, so instead of writing different codes for student, for teacher, for staff, and in all these uh, student, teacher, staff, I have to take different name, age, and addresses. So what I can do, instead of writing the same code three times, what I can do is I can create one common class. Okay, and that common class will inherit. Okay, in all the student, in all the teacher, and all the staff classes. So that is one thing which we can do. Okay, so that's why inheritance exists in OOPS programming, object oriented programming language. Okay, now I'll do what? I'll just um, before starting with the OOPS, I will just tell you about the four pillars of object oriented programming. Yes, so there are four pillars of, okay, object oriented programming. Okay, and in these four pillars, guys, what are the things which are there is, first, there is inheritance. So inheritance is the first pillar of Abdul Malik Muhammad. All right, thank you. Thank you so much, man. So, inheritance is the first pillar of object oriented programming, okay? And this object oriented programming, the whole concept, okay, is based on four pillars. So, what are the next things? So, the next things are encapsulation, abstraction, and the last one is polymorphism. Okay, so let me just clear one thing here that all these four pillars which I have written here, they are the four pillars of object oriented programming. So they are not specific to Python. In all the programming languages where object oriented programming is supported, in that these four things will be there. These four features will be there. So in Python also object oriented programming is supported. So because of that these four features are also present in Python too, but based on different programming languages the way of using them is get changed. Okay, and today our whole session means today's live session is going to revolve around these four pillars only. So we'll start with inheritance, then encapsulation, then we'll talk about abstraction, and then polymorphism. So everything is going to revolve around these four pillars only. Object oriented programming is all about this only. Okay, so let's just start with our first topic of today's class, that is inheritance. So now we'll talk about inheritance. What is inheritance in, okay, in programming or in real life too? Guys, see, inheritance, you could say that it is a process of inheriting, okay, or using properties and methods of one class in another class. That is what inheritance is all about. That is what the concept of inheritance is all about. Okay, and this is what inheritance means, that you can simply use the properties and the methods of another class. Okay, another class, that is what called as inheritance. So what is the concept of inheritance in real life? In real life, what is inheritance? So in real life, guys, inheritance is, okay, let me just give you a simple example and then you will guys automatically get through it. Okay, in simple way, if I have to explain you inheritance, so it's just like suppose suppose you have a house, okay, and that house was built by your grandfather. Okay, now that house automatically comes to your father name. Okay, because your grandfather's son is your father, so that will automatically be on the name of your father after your grandfather. Okay, then after your father, that house will automatically comes to you. Okay, so that is what, that house is what, that house is the property. Okay, imagine it like a property, okay, which is being inherited by us or our fathers, okay, which is our ancestral property. So that is inheritation. That is what inheritation. One more example if I have to give you, suppose, now let's take an example. Suppose your father is a very good in cooking and your mother is a very good painter. Okay, so these are your hobbies of your parents. Now maybe you could also possibly have one of those habits from your father or mother, or you could have both the properties. So automatically you will be good in food, I means in cooking food, or automatically you will be good in drawing, or you will have an interest in arts and crafts because your parents were like that. Okay, or maybe you look like your parents, or maybe you look like your okay, your grandfather, grandmother, okay, grandparents. So this is what, this is because of the biological genes. Okay, the same genes which is being followed by our whole generations. So because of that, there could be something which will be similar with our parents. Okay, so that what is that gene, that gene is being inherited. Okay, that is being inherited from our generations. We are following that. Now, kind of that same scenario is followed in inheritance also. In programming, the same concept is followed, okay, which is called as inheritance, where we create a parent class. Okay, we have a parent class, and that parent class will have some attributes, will have some properties, will have some methods in it. Okay, and those properties, those attributes, those methods, we are going to, okay, we are means the child, okay, the child class will be using those properties, attributes and methods. It's just that simple, that the child class uses the properties and the methods present in the parent class without even creating it, without even creating it. You can just directly use it which is already there in your parent, which already exists in your parent class. So that is called as inheritance. Okay, that is what called as inheritance. So if I have to write the definition of inheritance, so I can just simply say that inheritance is the process. Okay, guys, it is a process of creating a new class, okay, from an existing class. That's all. That's all. Okay, and the existing class and the existing class which is already there from which we are going to inherit, that is called as the parent class. Okay, that is called as the parent, or it is also called as the base class. Okay, so whenever I will say parent or base class, so please understand that I am talking about the class which has the properties and the methods in it. Okay, and the new class, okay, which we create is called the child or the derived class. So it is called as the child, okay, or the derived class. So remember, now whenever I'll say child class or derived class, so please understand that we are talking about the class which is going to use the methods and properties present in the parent class. This is what it means. This is what it means. This is what inheritance means. It's just that. Okay. So now, guys, the next question could be asked to us, or next question should be in your mind. Then why to use inheritance? Okay. And okay. So I'll do what? I'll show you two codes, one without inheritance and one with inheritance. And then you'll automatically understand what we are talking about. Okay, then you'll automatically understand what we are talking about. So I'll do what? I'll create two class. I'll create one class as a student. I'll create a method in it and I'll say show self. Now this is a ends method, okay? A method which will be called using the object, okay? And I'll just simply say student. Then I'll do what? I'll create a teacher class and I'll just simply print teacher in it, okay? So now I have two classes. Now you will see one thing, that without inheritance, I have to just create a student class and I'm just showing a student. And I have to create a teacher class and I have to just show teacher. Now, what is the common thing between a student and a teacher? Can you guys tell me that if I'm talking about a student and teacher, so what could be the possible common way of representing a student or a teacher? Okay, so the common possible way is that both a student and teacher, they are a person. Both student and teacher, they are a person. So if they are a person, so what we can do one thing. Now I'll show you an example with inheritance where same student and teacher class is going to share one common element. Okay, they are going to share one common element, and that is that they both are, because they both are persons, so they will share that we both are person, that kind of thing. And they can print person also, and they can print their own also, means they can print a student and teacher respectively and print the common value also. Okay, So for that common value, I'll do what? I'll create a common class. That will be class person. Now this class person is going to be my parent class. Okay. And in this, I'm going to just simply print person. Not only that, then I'll create my class student also, and I'll just pass it. And then I'll create my class teacher also, and I'll make it pass. That's all. Okay. But that is not over, guys. That is not over. One thing is missing. That is now student is also a person and teacher is also a person, but how they will use this person here? How they are going to use this person class and the method present in the person class? So for that, you need to inherit this person. So how you are going to inherit this person? So for that, the simple syntax is, we'll talk about the syntax, but I'll just show you that I'll write person here, and in teacher also, I will write person. And that's all. Okay. Now I can create a class of I can create an object of a student, and I can use this so it will show me person. I can create, let me just show you only. Now I'll create a student, and I'll just say st dot show. So you will get person. Now same thing I can do it with teacher, and I'll change to T. Now you'll get person person. Okay. So both time we are getting person person. And why you are getting none? So we already know it, that because our functions, this show function, by default the methods and functions returns none, and we are not returning anything. We are just simply printing. So because of that, okay, we are getting none. That's the reason. Okay. Instead of print, you can use return. So now you will not get none because now it is returning person. Okay. So this is how you do it. This is how, guys, you do it. Okay. This is how you do it. It's just that simple. Okay. So in inheritance also, guys, there are multiple ways of inheriting, okay, a class. So there are different types of inheritance present. And this is one of the beautiful examples of multiple inheritance, but okay, it's okay. This is just, I have written an example just to show you that with inheritance, what is possible. So now we'll do what? Now we'll talk about the types of inheritance present in Python, okay, or what are the inheritance which is allowed in Python, okay. So types of inheritance in Python. So the first inheritance is called as single inheritance. The second one is called as multiple inheritance, and we'll see each one of them one by one. Okay. Then the third inheritance is multi-level, and the fourth is hierarchical. Okay. So these are the four types of inheritance present in Python. Now we'll do what? We'll see example of each one of them, and we'll talk about the syntax and each and everything. So let's start with our first inheritance, that is going to be our single inheritance. Okay. Now, if I'll talk about the syntax of single inheritance, guys, so it's very simple. But before the syntax, let's talk about the logic. So single inheritance basically means that there will be one parent class and one child class, and that child class is going to inherit from the parent class. That is what single inheritance means. Okay. So that is what single inheritance means, that one class is going to inherit from the parent class. That is all. Okay. That's all. So so syntax will something look like this. Suppose if I have a parent class, okay, so now this parent class will have, okay, let's say this is my parent class and I have one child class. So there will be only one parent class and there will be only one child class. And this child class is going to inherit this parent class. That's all. That is all. So there will be only one parent and one child, and child will be inheriting the parent class. That is what it is called as single level inheritance. Okay. A beautiful example of this. Okay. Now, as we know the syntax, let's see an example. So we have an example. We have class animal, def. Suppose I create a method that my animal eats, and I'll just do what? I'll just simply print a simple message that animal is eating. That's all. Now all the animals, now animals are of different types. All animals eat only, okay? So then there is a class called as dog, okay? In this dog, I'll inherit my animal because dog is also an animal only, okay? So I'll say animal, and dog does what? Dog just simply bark, okay? But dog eats also. But dog, one of the features of dog is that dog barks, okay? So I'll say here barking. That's all. Okay, that's all. Now, guys, we'll do what? We'll create a class of our dog, means a object of our dog class. So let's say dog like this. And now you will notice that using this object of my dog class, I can use this eat also. I can use this bark also. Let me show you how. So I'll say dog dot eat, and then I'll say dog dot bark. And let me just execute this, and you will see eating, barking, both we are getting. Okay, so when I call the method dog.eat, so I'm getting eating also, which is actually present in my animal class. But because we are inheriting the animal class in dog, so you can create the object of dog class and you will be able to access this method also, which is present in the animal class. That is also possible. This is the beautiful, that is the definition also, no? The definition was also saying the same thing, that you can use the properties and the methods present in your parent class in your child class. So same thing we are doing here. This method was in the parent class and we are able to use it in our child class. Okay. So the child can inherit all the members of the parent, means all the accessible members of the parent. That is what the child class can do. And this is an example of a single level inheritance, or also called as single inheritance. Okay, guys. Now let's just do what? Let's again go. And now let's just see. Okay. Second inheritance, second type of inheritance, that is multiple inheritance. So before talking about the syntax, we'll talk about that how and what happens in this. Okay. How and what happens in this. Okay. So guys, in multiple inheritance, okay, you have multiple parents. Okay. You have multiple parents classes, and from that multiple parent classes you can inherit in one child class. So the definition goes like this in multiple inheritance, that one child class inherits from multiple parents class. So if anyone asks you that what is multiple inheritance or what we do in multiple inheritance, so you can just give a simple answer to everyone, that one child can or inherits from multiple parents. One child inherits from multiple parents. That is what multiple inheritance means. Okay. That is what multiple inheritance simply means. Okay. If I have to show you the example, so example could be like this. Suppose if I have class called as, let's say, let's take an example of, yeah, if I have a class called as parent1 like this, then I have another class called as parent2. Okay, and I have one class called as child. So now this child can inherit parent 1 and it can inherit parent 2 both. Okay, it can inherit both parents, and that's all. So this is the simple syntax of multiple inheritance. Okay, now if you guys want an example, so let's do an example also. So in this example what I'll do, uh okay guys, imagine you have a camera and you have a phone. Now camera can click photos, phone can make calls. Then you have a smartphone. Now smartphone has both cameras also and phone also. Okay. So using the smartphone as a child class, we can inherit from both camera and the phone class. Okay. So same concept, we are going to write it in our programming. Okay. By using class and object. So I'll do what? I'll create a camera class. In this camera class, I'll create a method called as click. Okay. In this click, I have self, and I'll just simply do what? I will just return, or I can print also. I want to return. So I'll say taking photo. Then again, I have one more, that is phone. Okay, class phone. In this, I'll say what? Call. Okay, call. And I'll just simply return calling. That's all. Okay. Now I have again a class. Now I have a class called as smart phone. Now this smartphone can click photos and can make calls both. So will I be able to create different methods for my smartphone, or I'll be just directly using the click and call method from my both the camera and phone class? Yeah, absolutely that. We are going to reuse our code. We have already a method called as click in my camera class, and I have already a method called as call in my phone class. So I'm just going to simply inherit my camera and phone together. So what I'll say camera, comma, phone, okay, and then I'll just make it a pass. Okay, so my smartphone will not do anything, it just inherit the click and call. Now I'll do what? I'll create a mobile object of my smartphone class. Okay, that's all. And using my mobile, now I am going to call both the methods. So I'll call and I'll call click also. I'll call both the methods, and you will see, okay, now I need to print this. So I'll do what? I'll just print. Okay, so I'll print this. I'll print this too. So now you'll see calling and taking photo. Okay, both only using the object of the smartphone class. Both features means both methods we can access it. So that is what multiple inheritance is, guys. Okay, I hope you have understood that multiple inheritance means that there are multiple parents and there is only one child class, and that one child class is going to inherit everything from all the multiple classes. Okay, now guys, one more thing is there. Okay, one problem in this multiple inheritance is that if both the classes will have same methods, okay, let's say price. Let's say there is a method called as price. So the camera has a method called as price which says I am expensive, and same goes with the phone also. Same goes with the phone also. Now both camera and phone have the methods, and I am also expensive. I am also expensive. Now both the camera and the phone have the same price method. So now if I'll now do what? If I'll now call the price method, so which price will be printed? So I am expensive. This price got used. Okay. This one was not used. The camera one, the camera price was used. Now, how it is used in such a way? So to know this, which one is getting to be used, there is something which is called as there is something which is called as method method resolution method resolution order, which is also called as MRO, because in Python the Python interpreters gets confused that which one to use. Although there is one more way I'll tell you, but this is also one way. Okay, Okay, in that the Python follows the C3 linearization algorithm. So there is an algorithm which this MRO follows. Okay, I'll show you that MRO, how you're going to see that which will be used, which function or which class function will be used. Okay, so for that what you need to do is you just need to write your class name, then write dot underscore underscore MRO underscore underscore and just print it. And now it will give you that first the smartphone class has been used, then the camera class is there, and then there is the phone class. Okay, so it means if you have same methods, so first which one will be there? First camera will be there. So a smartphone will go to camera and then it will look for a price method, and if it will get a price method, it will call that price method. Okay, so that's why the camera price method is being called here. Okay, because the phone one is later on. First the smartphone goes to camera and then it goes to the phone class. So that is why. Now this is how you will check the method resolution order, that which class is being followed by your class. So this is done by C3 linearization algorithm. So there is an algorithm using that this is done, and that algorithm name is C3 linearization. Okay, guys, remember that. Okay, so if two parent classes have the same method name, so Python searches the method name according to the method resolution order. So first of all, it will search the price method in the smartphone. In the smartphone means the class itself. It will search in the class itself. If it is not in the class, so then it will go to the camera class. Okay, then it will go to the camera class. And the camera class, it will look for a price. If there is price, so it will return. If there is not a price, so then at the end it will go to the phone class, and then it will look it in the phone. But when it looks in the camera, so there was a price method, so that's why it returned I am expensive. Okay, now guys, this is how you will know that which class is going to be searched first. But if you want to change it, okay, you want to print this I am also expensive, so how you are going to do that? So see, in the smartphone, when you'll come in the child class's smartphone, you will see the order in which you have written camera and phone class. Okay, so the order in which you have written it, the same order it will follow it. So after a smartphone, you have first written camera, so that's why first camera is there. Okay, if you'll change it and you will make it phone first, and if you'll make this as camera, so now you'll see a change. Okay, now you will get the output I am also expensive. Okay, so now the phone class price method is being used, and when you will check the MRO, so MRO will also be changed, that from a smartphone it goes to the phone and then to the camera class. So it is totally dependent on which class you have written at what position. If you have written the phone class, so it will use the phone class and it will make the search for the price method in the phone class first. Then it will look it in the camera class. So this is how do it, and this is how Python get confused. So when Python get confused, Python follows this order. Okay, and this order in which we have given the names here, this is called as method resolution order, so that there should be no error. To prevent from an error, it is used. Okay, now this is one thing I don't think so that you will get to know in any other channels or any other platform, because those who have a deeper understanding of this, they only know this MRO kind of thing, method resolution order. So this is a very good thing. And one more thing, this is a very good question of interviews also. In interviews, this question is asked. Okay, so that's why it's become very useful, that they will just interview will simply ask you that in Python, in inheritance, in multiple inheritance, what is the problem faced? Or they will just give you the scenario that you are using, there is one child which is inheriting from two parent class, and in both the parent class there is the same method name. So which method will be used, or which method will be called? So then you have to give the answer that, sir, the class which is inheriting first, which we have written at the first place based on the MRO, that will be executed first. So you will say that, sir, we will first check the MRO, and based on the MRO, we will decide, means the class which is being inherited first, that method will be executed from that class. So this type of answers you have to give it, and you can only give this answer when you know it. And one more thing, that this MRO, okay, Python follows Python follows the Now, it may be asked that which type of algorithm is used. So you will say C3 linearization. Okay, linearizations algorithm is used to search for this. Okay, for this MRO. So that is also one question that can be asked. Okay. So this was all about the multiple inheritance. Now let's go to the multi-level inheritance and let's talk about that. So the next inheritance is multi-level multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, guys, so this is how it's done. Now in multi-level inheritance, guys, the scenario is I'll give you a beautiful example for this. The example is very simple that what you need to do is you just simply need to understand the house example which I've given you. That suppose your grandfather has built a house. Now that house will automatically come to your father, okay, and then the same house will automatically come to you, okay, and you can replace the house with a land. Suppose your grandfather purchased a land. Now that land will automatically come to your father's name, then it will automatically comes to you. Okay, so that is called as an ancestral property. So in multi-level inheritance, we follow that structure. We follow the same structure in multi-level inheritance. Okay, so the syntax will be something like this. Let's say you have a class called as grandparent. Now your grandfather parent may be having some values. Okay, then your parent will have, okay, and your parent are going to inherit your grandparent class. Okay, then we'll have the child class, and now this child class will inherit the parent class. So apparently what is happening here is that child is inheriting parent and parent is inheriting grandparent. So because of that, child will be able to use the methods properties from grandparent class and from parent class both, but the parent class will be only able to use it from the grandparent class. Okay, so that is the thing, because parent is inheriting grandparent and parent is being inherited by child, so child can use both the methods and properties of parent and the methods and properties of grandparent also. Yeah, you can use it from them also. Okay, so that is how it is done. Okay, if you want an example, so I'll do what, I'll create a class called as animals. In this animal class, all animals eat. So I'll just simply say, okay, I'll just return, or let's just print only. It is a method no, so I can directly print. I'll just say eating. Okay, then I'll do what? I'll create a class called as, now in animals also there are few animals who can walk. Okay, so they comes in mammal category. So I'll create a mammal class. Now mammals, animals are also an animal only. So, but the difference is that mammals can walk. Okay, so self. Okay, and let's just print. Now I'll create one last class that will be, let's say, our dog class. Now dog will inherit the mammal class. Okay. And dog will simply have a method called as, Now, okay. Now we'll do what? We'll just simply go and create a object of our dog class. That's all. That's all you need to do it. Then you'll say dog.eat. Now, using this dog object, you will do what? You will call the eat. You will call the eat method. You can call the walk method also, which is present in your parent. And not only that, you can call the bark method also. And all the three methods present in three different classes. One is present in our animal class, that also you can use it. One is present in the mammal class, that also you can use it. And one is the property, is the method of the own class, that also you can use it. So this is what happens in multi-level, that everything that comes, okay, means this last class which is inheriting, okay, that will be able to extract from all the classes. So that's why it is called as level, because here you are inheriting level by level. Okay, here you are inheriting level by level, so there is a level, we are following a level here. So that is what it is called, level by level. So that's why it is called as, and because there are multi levels, so it is called as multi level inheritance, because here you inherit based on levels. Now at last guys, there is one more inheritance, that is called as hierarchical, that is called as hierarchical inheritance. Okay, now in hierarchical inheritance is just the opposite of multiple inheritance. Okay, in multiple inheritance we have multiple parent and one child. In hierarchical inheritance we have only one parent and multiple child classes. It's just the opposite of the multiple, that you will have only one parent class and you will have multiple child class, and all the child classes are inheriting from that single parent class only. Yes, that is the concept. So let's see an syntax of it. Okay, so syntax about the hierarchical inheritance is very simple. Okay, but first I'll write here what is the use of it, that one parent and multiple and multiple child. That is the concept here. So syntax will somehow look like this, that suppose if you have class parent, if you have a class parent, so now there will be one class called as child 1. Now this child 1 will also inherit parent. Then you will have one another class called as child 2. Now child 2 will also inherit the parent, and then we'll have a child 3. Child 3 means all the child classes will inherit the parent class only. Okay. The same example you can take just like we have taken for the person. Okay. The person and the student example, no? The same example you can take it over here also. Okay. What you will do now, you have a person class, suppose. You have a person class. Okay. Now that person will have some information. Okay. That person could have, it will simply print that I am a person, or let's say only person. Okay. Now based on this, you have different child classes. Like you have a student class. Now student is what? A student is also a person only. A student is also a person only. But a student can have something of its own also. That is, a student can have one property, okay, one behavior that a student studies. Okay, so you will print study here. You will print study in this. Then there could be one more class, that could be class teacher. Now in this teacher, again, teacher is also what? Teacher is also a person only. Okay, but teacher have some different properties, some different behaviors. Like teachers teach. Like me, I am a Python tutor. I teach Python related contents. Okay, I provide Python related contents to my students, to my fellow developers. Okay, I build projects, I work on them. So this is what I do. Okay, but I am also a person only. You are learning from me. You are also a person only. Same concept. Same example I've taken here. Now I'll do what? I will just create a student object. Okay, and I'll create a teacher object. A teacher object. Now, using this both, using this student.info. Okay, and I can call the study also. Not only that, I can do what? Using this teacher also, I can call info, and I can call the teach also. Let me execute it. Person study, person teaching. So this is the example of hierarchical inheritance, that you have only one parent class. Now this is your parent class. This is apparently your parent class. And these are all student. This is a child class. This is a child class. This is also a child class. And wait a second. Both the child classes are using a same method, that is info, from a parent class. So that is what, okay, hierarchical inheritance is all about. Yeah, that's all. That is all about the inheritance concept. And these are all the types of inheritance present in Python. Now there is one more type of inheritance, okay, that is called as hybrid, but that is not present in Python. But hybrid basically means that you suppose in one single, okay, code, in one single program, you are using different types of inheritance. Means you are using hierarchical, you are using multiple, you are using multi-level also. Means you are using all the approaches in a single program. So it means the collection of different types of inheritance together in a single program, they are called as hybrid. So hybrid means this only, that any class will inherit any class. So there is no formal logical way to describe hybrid. So that's why people say that a collection of different types of inheritance is called as hybrid inheritance. Although people don't follow that, because now see, it will be any class is taking value from any class is inheriting any class. So that is not an ideal scenario. So because of that, these four are the ideal ones which we see, which we talk, which we learn about it, and which we will be used in the future. Okay, so that is what hybrid inheritance is. Okay, now guys, now the next thing which we'll talk about is, that is the next topic, will be about encapsulation. How many of you know about encapsulation? Anyone, any idea about encapsulation? What is encapsulation? Data hiding. Vivo 9444 is saying data hiding. Okay, correct, correct. Anything, any other person wants to say something like that? One has said data hiding. Okay, anyone who knows more about it? Okay, let me explain it. Okay, guys, I'll do what? I'll just take a real life example. Um, suppose you have a medicine bottle. Okay, in that bottle you have medicine tablets you have. Now you guys answer me that if you have to take a medicine in the night, how you will do that? You will open the bottle correctly, you will take the medicine and you will close it. But tell me guys, but you cannot directly touch or modify the medicine inside the bottle. okay, inside. Without opening the bottle properly, you cannot touch the medicine. If the medicine is present inside your medicine bottle, so you cannot touch the medicine directly. So what you need to do is you just simply need to open the bottle, take the medicine and again close it. Okay. So it means the medicines are inside a bottle. So we have provide a capsule to it. So this is called as the idea of encapsulation. Okay. So we can just simply say that encapsulation is the process of wrapping data, it means wrapping variables, and the methods, means the functions also, that operate on the data into a single unit, that is class. Okay. So wrapping the data and the methods that operate on that data into a single unit, that is our class, and again wrapping it into a single unit, and not only that, while restricting the direct access to the data also, so that it's not like that anyone will come and anyone will open it and anyone can use it. No. Okay. So that is what. So if I have to write the definition, so I'll write a very beautiful definition. Okay. Emmanuel Serif. Good afternoon from my end, sir. I'm Emmanuel Mambu Serif from Libria. I don't know the definition, but encapsulation is used in networking to allow communication between different LANs. Uh, Now that is also kind of encapsulation, but you are, means in that also you are correct. In that also it is used, but means that is little different from our encapsulation. Okay. In that, no, you just encapsulate the application data. Okay. You capsule it in segment, then packet, then frame, and then beats. Okay. So that is there. Okay. But again, there are different things also. We are not talking about encapsulation in networking. We are talking about the encapsulation, one of the features in object oriented programming. Okay. So, okay, let me just write my definition that it will be more clear to you guys. So we can just simply say that encapsulation is the process, okay, of wrapping data, variables, okay, data which is also called as variables, and the methods. Methods, as you guys already know, the functions, we are talking about the functions, okay, that that operate on that same data, that operate on that data, and it does what? It wraps it into a single unit. Okay, single unit. What is that single unit in class and object? Class is the unit. Inside class we put our variables, we put our methods together, and whenever we need it, we write the class name, or we use the object, and then we try to use it. Okay, that is what Salem. Salem friends, I'm Salem. So single unit, that is class. And not only just we wrap it, but wrapping, and with wrapping we do what? We restrict it also. Okay. So we restrict it with from the direct access to the data. Okay. So while restricting the direct access to the data. So this is also one thing which we do it. That is what encapsulation means. If I have to say in simple words, I can just say, like Vivu has said, the data hiding. Okay. So he was halfway correct that yes, it hides the data. It hide the data, but the second half is that it also allow controlled access to it. Okay. So not only it just hide the data, but it also gives us a controlled access to it. Okay. Like suppose if you have an ATM machine, suppose you go to an ATM machine, so you can withdraw money, you can deposit money, you can check balance. But tell me, but can you directly access that bank's database and change your balance? That you can you do that? No. Okay. So you must use the ATM buttons and menu so to access the machine and to do whatever operation you want. You want to withdraw money, you want to deposit money, you want to update, or you want to check the balance. So whatever you want to do, okay. So the ATM does what? ATM here, the ATM machine is basically, it hides the internal data, that how it is updating the database of the bank server, okay, how it is doing that. It hides that data, okay, and it gives us a control methods to access it. So it just gives us withdraw, deposit, check balance, set a new pin, that kind of access, control access it gives us. So this is the simple logic is only called as encapsulation, where you are hiding the data which you want and then you are giving a control access to it. Okay, so that is what encapsulation is all about. Okay, now I'll do what, I'll just create an I'll just show you one thing. Okay, I'll just show you by creating a public member. Suppose I'm creating a class called as class student. In this class, what I have in it, I have a constructor self, and in this self I have self dot name equals to Rohit. Name equals to Rohit. Now guys, this Rohit, this self dot name, it can be accessible from anywhere. So you can access it using the class name, you can access it using the object name. Okay, so you can just directly access it. Okay, so this is called as public member. This is called as public member. Then now this can be accessible by everyone. Now you have protected members. Okay, now you have protected members. Now, what this protected members does is they provide a conventionally intended for internal use. It means they just say that motivational scene and you. Good evening, sir. Sorry, I missed the half of the class. It's okay, man. It's okay. We were talking about the inheritance. We have just completed the inheritance and now we are talking about the encapsulation. Okay. So I hope you understand the encapsulation topic. So now you have the protected members. Now, one more thing I just like to say. First of all, just do what? Let's just try to create. Okay. Suppose you have class student, you have init, you have self init. Now you have the same thing. Okay. You have again self dot, but this time, suppose name could be one variable which everyone can access it, but marks could be one variable that you don't want to share with everyone. Okay. So you will create marks as an protected member. And to create a protected member means a protected variable, you will have to start it with the underscore, a single underscore. So you will write your variable starting with a single underscore. So that will be treated as a protected member. That will be treated as a protected member. Now, why to create protected members, guys? So, to create a why it is important to create a protected member? To tell everyone that this is a variable which cannot be accessed by other classes. Okay, it can be only accessed within the same class. Okay, and just like the protected members, guys, you have a private member also. Okay, so when you create, first I'm again repeating it, when you create protected members, so just remember that this protected member, it means what? It means that this particular marks variable can be only used within the class. Okay, you cannot access it outside the class. Okay, that is what it means. So it can be only accessed within the class or inside its subclasses. You cannot access it outside the class. Inside the subclasses you can access it, means in the nested classes, but you cannot access it outside the class. Okay, so remember that thing. So this is why protected members are important. Remember one thing, guys. One more thing I just like to add in this, okay, so that people now will say, okay, um, Google developer, where is IPYNB file? Brother, the file is in my desktop, okay, and it will be shared to you in the last day of this bootcamp, okay. So on the 15th of August, okay, if you'll not miss any day, so probably on 15th of August, I'll provide you a link, and in that link, it will be a GitHub link, and in that all the files I'll provide you, okay. So now you'll not get that file. So now, guys, one more thing, one more question in Python, it is that does Python actually enforce the protected members, or is just like for intended, I mean, just to show? So see, unlike Java or C++, Python does not enforce the protected access, okay. So a single underscore which we are just using is just a convention, okay. It's just a convention to say other programmers that please don't access this directly unless you know what you are doing, okay. It's just to say other programmers, okay, but it's actually not protecting it, because if you do it in C and C++ or Java, so then actually the protected members do their work, you cannot access it. But in Python you will be able to access it, okay. So let me just show you that how you will be able to access it, okay. Suppose if you'll create an object of student, you create object of the student class like this, so you can access st.name, sorry, marks, and you will be able to access 90. So it does not mean that you cannot access it. Yes, you can access it, but the thing is that it just simply means that please don't access, means just you're saying to other developers or other programmers that don't access this directly unless you know what you are doing. It is a protected variable. It's just for that purpose, okay. So we are all consulting the adults here, okay. So it's just the Python just follows that philosophy, but it does not enforces it. I hope you're getting my point. Okay, I hope you all are getting my point. Sir, after finishing these classes, will you make projects? Yes. Okay. Not after finishing the projects. While going in the classes only, we will see projects. Okay. And in Flash series also, related to the object-oriented programming and related to this concept, in Flash series also there is a project. Okay. So those who are regular to the channel, they know, okay, how, because they know everything. I just tell in the live classes only that what I'm going to do. Okay. So that is what it does. I hope you've got it. That protected members are actually not, that means it's not doing its work, but it's just simply following the philosophy of protected members, and it's just simply saying that please do this. Okay, or if you want to use it, so you should know that this is a protected variable, so use it on your own risk. It's just for that purpose. Although the concept which is for the protected members, which is present in C++ and Java, that same concept is not in Python. It's not enforced in Python. The concept is there, but it's not enforced. Okay, so I hope you guys are getting my point, what I'm trying to say. Okay, then you have the private members. Private members at some place they are executed. Okay, I'll show you how. Suppose you have class student, okay, and suppose that a student is getting some internship stipend, okay. So that is one information that you don't want to tell everyone. So what you can do is, for creating a private member, you will use double underscores. Okay, so for creating a private variable, you will use a double underscore, and you will say self dot underscore underscore salary equals to, let's say, 5,000. Okay, so now direct access is restricted through. Okay, so now if I'll try to do what? If I'll try to just create an object here of my class student and try to access this underscore underscore salary. So now it will give me an attribute error. So private members actually work, okay, they work. Now it will say attribute error that there is no attribute called as underscore underscore salary. It means there is actually, but you cannot access it. Okay, so private members actually restricted, but then also you can use it. But then also you can use this. Yeah, you can use this through name mangling. Okay, name mangling is a concept, using that you can use it. Uh, how you can use it? Let me show you. I guess you have to write the class name. So what you can do, guys, to access this salary, you can create a method called as def show self underscore. Here you can print self dot underscore underscore salary. Okay. Now instead of calling salary, you can call show method, and now it will give you the value 5,000. Okay. So it's not that you cannot directly access it. Direct access is prohibited, but you can print it in a variable in a method, and then you can use that method. So then you will get the value. So in this way you can access it. So that is what. So this encapsulation and this restricted allowance is actually only limited at the philosophical level, is not that much efficient here. Okay, so it's not that much efficient in Python. Yeah, that is there. Because Python, I guess, automatically feels that means Python assumes that everyone will understand, and based on that only they will write their codes. Okay, so Python assumes that. Python is built on assuming that. Okay, beauty's help. Yes, yes. Okay, so that is what encapsulation is all about. Okay, so in encapsulation, first of all, you capsule everything, you put everything inside a single unit, that is class. So like here there is a variable, there is a method also. So we put everything inside a class. So when I have to use this method, or I have used to this variable, I will use this first student class, and then I can use it. But then do you have one more thing, that the control is also, means the access of the variables or method, that is also controlled. How they are controlled? They are controlled using the protected private. Okay, these concepts, although protected is doesn't work efficiently, means it just says that okay, it is a protected variable, you should not use it, and if you are using it, use it on your risk. But it just says that, it does not enforce it. So those who are from Java and other programming language, now they will understand that, because in these programming language it actually work. So protected cannot be accessed, private also cannot be accessed. So that is what it is. Okay, it's just like that. Now the next concept which we'll talk about, that was all about the encapsulation. Okay, in Python that is all about this. Okay, the next concept is, guys, abstraction. Okay, abstraction. Now, what is abstraction? What is abstraction, guys? Anyone knows anything about abstraction? Let me just tell you. In simple language, I'll try to just make you understand what is abstraction. Abstraction basically means data hiding. Okay, it means the implementation details. No, using abstraction, it is hidden. We hide the implementation details. Okay, and we only expose the necessary functionalities. Okay, let me give you a real life example. Suppose, take the example of an ATM machine. You press on the button, withdraw money. Now, when you press on the button, withdraw money, so are you able to see the internal things like the database operation, how the database is operated? Um, when you write the pin, when you give your pin, so you able to see that how your pin is matched? No, you're not able to see the pin verification logic. You're not able to see the network communication. You're not able to see the database operations. Okay, how the database is updated, how your balance is updated. These are the details which are actually hidden. So what you see, you just see a message that okay, your money is debiting now, your money is crediting now, your money is withdrawing now. This kind of messages you see. Your balance is this much, but how that balance is updated, that you don't see. Beauty self, sir, don't understand this last time also didn't understood. Which one? Encapsulation? Encapsulation or abstraction? Quickly tell me. Okay. Which topic? Write the topic name. Which one you have not understood? Then we'll again talk about it. Okay. So we were talking about abstraction. So abstraction basically means that, suppose, abstraction basically means that the details, the implementation details, which you don't want to show to every person. Okay. That you will do what? For that, you will create an abstract method or you will create an abstract class. That's all. And then you will do what? In all the classes, in all the different classes, you will import that particular abstract method and you will just change the working of it. Okay. That is what abstraction means. Okay, that is what abstraction means, that the implementation no abstraction. Okay, abstraction you have not understood. Okay, we are talking about it. Okay, we'll see it in more detail. I'll try to explain it in more simple way. Okay. So we create the methods for the implementation purpose. Okay, we create the method for the implementation purpose. And then in the other classes, we use those abstractions, we use those abstraction class, we use those abstraction methods, okay, directly, and then we change the implementation part. Okay, that is what abstraction is all about. Okay, so abstraction actually means that showing only the necessary features. Okay, showing only the necessary features to the user while hiding the complex implementation details, like the algorithm which you are using. Now suppose no, you are using a searching algorithm which is very unique. You don't want to expose it. Okay, so you don't want to make your user see the searching algorithm you are using. You just want to make visible the part where user are able to search, that okay, user want to search this product. So if this product is there, then search using this algorithm. So you don't want to show the algorithm, you just want to show the result of the search. Okay, so it just simply, in simple words, you have to say that for abstraction, if you say something, so you can say that you know what to do, but you don't need to know how it is done. It's just that. Okay, you know what to do, but you don't need to know how it is done. Means how the process, the implementation details, that you don't need to tell other. Means user should only be seeing the result. User, you don't, means you don't want to show the user how you have done it. Okay, what algorithm you are using, how you have built it. You don't want to show that. You just want to show the user the result. Okay, just like that. Suppose take an example of a website. Okay, got it. Meaning we hide some details. Yes, the implementation details. Okay. What details we hide? We hide the implementation details, that how it works. That detail we hide it. Okay. You got my point. I'll give you one more example, guys. Okay. If you guys have not understood, I'll give you one most beautiful example. Suppose now everyone drives a car or everyone rides a bike. Okay. Take the example of a car or a bike. Okay. Now in a car, what happens? You have your steering wheel, you have brake, you have accelerator, you have gears. Okay. Now you tell me, using the steering wheel, using the brake, accelerator, gear, we drive a car. Now, do you need to know that how the engine is burning the fuel? Okay, how the pistons is moving, how the gearbox is working, how the ECU controls the engine? Do you know this, or do you want to know this? Or do you only want to know that how you will use the steering wheel to go left, to go right, how you'll apply the brakes, how you'll apply the accelerator, how you'll use the gears, how you'll change the gears? Okay, you don't need to know the internal things. You just need to know only what is necessary. So that is what abstraction is all about. That is what abstraction is all about. That's all. That's all about abstraction. Okay. Yes, no, not needed. Yes, exactly, beauty self. No, not needed. Okay, you don't need to know the how the car's engine is burning the fuel and everything. Okay, you just need to know how the car you can drive it. Okay, what are the things used for that? So that is what. Okay, now I hope you have understood. Okay, and all of you, I hope you have also understood. Okay, so now we'll do what? I'll show you a beautiful example of this. Okay, now guys, what you can do to create an abstract base class. Okay, to enable abstraction in Python, you have a module called as abstract base class. So you have a module called as abstract base class. Okay, so now we'll try to create an abstract method and we'll learn and we'll see that how we can create a abstract method. So you have already a module called as ABC. So now I'll do what? I will import that module, and from this module I will import ABC, that is my abstract base class, and I will use abstract method. I will use a abstract method. And now I'll do what? I'll create my class and I'll create a class called as animal, and this animal class will inherit my ABC. Okay, my abstract base class. Okay, it will inherit that. It will inherit this class, abstract base class. Now it is a abstract class. Now inside this abstract class, what I'll do, I will create abstract method. Okay, so for this abstract method, again, we need to use this decorator, which is called as abstract method. And yesterday we have just talked about a decorator. That what is a decorator? Decorator is something which just gives some extra functionalities to our normal function. Okay, so we are just using that. We learn about the decorator concept in day 11. Okay, in more detail. Now, guys, I'll do what? Animals make sound. Okay, so I will just simply create a sound method, but remember, I will just define the function, but I'll not do anything inside the function because it is an abstract method. So abstract method will only define the function, that this is a function which animals do. Okay. If I'm creating a class for animal, so sound is what that animal makes. Okay. But different animals make different sounds. Okay. So for that, I'll do what? I've created my abstract class. Now I'll go and create my child class. So now I'll create my child class. In this child class, what I'll do, I'll create a class for dog, okay, and I'll inherit my animal class. Now, after inheriting my animal class, now this animal class is inheriting the abstract class, okay. Now I'll do what? I'll just say sound, self, okay, and I'll just simply print bark. I'll just simply say bark. That's all, okay. That's all. And if I have to use it, so I'll just simply create d dog and I'll say d dot sound and it will give me bark. Okay. So now you will say that, sir, this thing we can do it using without abstract method also. Yes, sure. Yes, absolutely sure. You can do it without using the abstract class also. Correct. You can do it. So then why to use the abstract class? See, guys. Okay. The difference is here, the difference is very simple. The difference is that the parent class, which is this animal class, okay, that will means when you create an abstract class, so that will only define that what should happen. Okay, so parent class only defines that what should happen, like sound. So sound is happening. Okay, while each child class will decide how it happens. Okay, what happens is decided by the abstract class, that sound is being made, but child class decide that how it happens, how the sound is made. So sound is made up of bark. Okay, so you just write what are the things which is necessary, what are the things which will be there, so that you will create it as. Okay, now then, using the child class you are going to override those method and you are going to write the implementation details, or what you are going to do or how it's going to be done, that you are going to write. That is what abstraction is. Okay, that is what abstraction is. Now people do what? No, people get confused in encapsulation and they get confused in abstraction. I have seen this. that they, because encapsulation also hides the data, abstraction also hides, but abstraction hides how the work is done, not the data. Okay, so I'll just write it here so that if you not remember the whole explanation also, if you remember these two things, so then in the interview you can just explain it using these two lines only, that encapsulation hide the data, whereas abstraction hide how the work is done. That's all. That's all. That's all what you have to do it. Okay. So this is the difference, guys. Just remember, if you're not remembering the whole concept of encapsulation and abstraction, so just remember these two lines, and that's all. Now, guys, one more thing. If I'll try to create a object of this animal class, okay? So will it be allowing us to do that? Let's create it. So now you'll see type error. Okay, when I'm creating a object of my animal class, and when I've inherited abstract base class in it, okay, I've told you, no, there are two ways of achieving abstract class. One way is just directly, simply. That simply you can do what? Simply you can create your public methods and you can make pass on it and you can inherit using inheritation. In that way also you can achieve it. But if you want the exact way, the abstracted way, so for that what you can do, you have to import this ABC. So now this animal class is inheriting the abstract base class. Now, you will not be able to create an object of our animal class because it is an abstract class. Abstract class does not do anything. Abstract class is just defined. And then the child classes uses it. The child classes use those methods, use those properties to change and do some modifications in it. Okay. Remember that if you do like this, it will give you a type error, and the type error is can't instantiate abstract class animal without an implementation for abstract method sound. Clear cut message is there. Okay. So I hope now you have understood why to use this ABC. Okay. So now this was all about the abstract class. Okay. Beauty's help. Is this needed in data analyst course? Oops concept. Yes. Yes, it is used. If you have to create your own classes, okay, so it is used, but not that much. But not that much. Then you have, guys, the next and the last topic for today's session, okay, that is polymorphism. Now, this is the last and the fourth pillar of object-oriented programming. This is called as polymorphism. Polymorphism means it is a combination of two words. First of all, polymorphism. Poly means many, morphism means form. So I'll write that thing. Poly means many, okay, and morphism means forms. Okay, so anything which has many forms is called as polymorphism. Okay, so polymorphism means you have one interface, but that one interface will have many implementations. Okay, so that is called as polymorphism. Okay, it means that suppose you have a method. Now the same method name can behave differently dependent on the different objects. Okay, let me show you how. Let me show you one beautiful example of polymorphism, and then it will be clear. Okay. So understand, just by you, if you'll understand the meaning of the word polymorphism, so then you will automatically understand polymorphism means. Poly means many, morphism means forms. Both together, it means many forms. So anything which has multiple forms, many forms, that will be called as polymorphism concept. So there the polymorphism concept is applied, and most commonly the polymorphism concept is applied on methods. Okay. Overloading, no ma'am, overloading is not supported. We'll talk about that. Okay, we are talking about overriding. Python does not support overloading. Okay, the overloading which we have in C, C++, Java, that is not supported in Python. Python supports different kind of overloading. We'll talk about it. So let me just do what, let me show you how this polymorphism is applied. Okay, so let's talk about that. So I have, let's say, a dog class. Okay. Now dog has the same method sound, and you guys will say that, sir, you are only using a same example, because there is a reason for that. I'm using the same example because to show you guys that understanding the concept is important. Example, same example can be applied to multiple concepts also. Okay. And all the concepts are not hard. They are actually very similar to each other. Little bit changes are there. That's why I'm using the same example. Okay. So don't get confused. And cat does meow. Now you guys tell me that if I'll create an object of dog and cat class, okay, if I'll create of dog and cat class, so and if I'll use the sound, so it will print bark or meow. It will print both. It will print both. Let me show you how. Okay, I'll do what? I'll create animals. I'll create animals. Okay, and I'll create a list. In this list, I'll create dog also. I'll create cat also. Okay, so now this animals is a list. Okay, and then this list will be used for dog and cat. So now I'll do what? I'll just use a loop here. So I'll say for animal in animals. Okay, and call using animals call the sound method. So you will get bark and meow both. Now both are sound methods only, but based on the different object, based on the animal, based on the different objects, one is barking and one is saying meow. So that is what it is called as. Okay, that is what it is called as. Okay, so this is what polymorphism. Same method name, sound, but the working is different. But the working is different. That is what polymorphism. That the same thing has many forms. Okay. Now this is an example of a class and object. You have a built-in example also. Okay, you have a built-in example also. Let me show you how. Okay, I'll do what? I'll say print. Okay, now I'll show you a built-in function example. Built-in example. Suppose you have print, you have length function. Now same length function give you the length of Python, and same length function will give you the length of 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Python has 6 and your list has 3 elements. Okay, so same length function works with different object types. So this length function is what? It has also many forms. That this length function, if you will apply a string in it, it will count the characters. But if you'll apply your list in it, it will count the elements. So the length function is also has many forms. So it is length function is also follows the concept of polymorphism. Now, just like beauty, now this was all about the polymorphism. And just now, beauty self told me that method overloading. So yes, there is a concept of method overloading also. But in Python, this method overloading concept is does not support it. So the traditional method overloading approach, where you can, if you have variables, means in Java, in Java and C++, what happens that you can create methods of same name in a same class. Okay, now those methods will act differently based on the if the number of parameters are different. Suppose I create a function for add. One add has 2 parameters and one add has 3 parameters. So they both are different add. So then the method concept of method overloading comes to play. But in Python, if you define 2 methods with the same name, okay, so the method which you have defined later in the last, that will replace the previous method. I'll give you a simple example. Suppose I have class demo. In this class demo, I have a method called as add, okay, which takes 2 parameter, and it just return a plus b. Okay. Then again, you have the same add method, but now this takes 3 parameter. This take 3 parameters, and let me add c also. Okay. Now I'll do what? I'll just go here I'll create an object of my demo class. I'll say demo equals to demo like this. Okay. And then print, I'll just simply print what? I'll say demo dot add. Okay. And I'll say 1, 2, 3. So you will see it will give me 6. Now if I'll remove 3, so in Java C++, if I'll remove 3 no, so it will call the first method. It will call this add method. But in Python, it will not happen. In Python, it will give you a type error that add is missing one required positional argument C. Okay. So in Python, what happens that this method is overridden by this method. Okay. So only the last method, if you have same methods inside one class, so the last method which you have created, that will be considered, previous one will be replaced. So this one is replaced with the new method add, which has 3 parameters. Okay. That is what it is done. So that's why the traditional method overloading is not supported. But what you can do now, you can do one thing. You can use default arguments here. Okay. So there is a Pythonic, means because Python, as you guys know, Python is advanced programming language. So it is very, there are few things which are very advanced. So you can use default parameters. Okay. To fix this, what you can do, you can make C equals to 0 by default. So now what will happen? Okay, if C is by default 0, so if you have to add A plus B, so it will give you 3. But although it is working, means it is using this method only, it is not using this method, it is using this method only. Okay, or there is one more approach. Okay, there is one more approach, but it is very specific, it is very specific in nature. You can use the variable length argument asterisk args, you can use that also, but it is very specific, like it is will be only used for adding, multiplication, that kind of thing. So it is very specific in nature. Okay, it is very specific in nature. So that is what you do it. So this was the concept of method overloading. Okay. Okay. And this was polymorphism, means two different classes, same name. Okay. Now you have one more concept of method overriding. Method overriding. Okay guys. A beauty self. Sir, you are now telling about method overriding, but previously you told about MRO. That is new concept to me. Still in how this and that work differently. Can you explain? MRO is different thing. No, it is in multiple inheritance. Where that MRO comes to play. MRO is not in method overriding. MRO just tells you that in which class you will, the class means the object you are creating and the method you are calling. So from which class it will first search for it and which class method will be used. That is MRO, method resolution order. That is totally different concept. And this method overloading and method overriding, they are totally different concept. Okay, they are not related. Okay, I hope you got it. So now we'll talk about method overriding, guys. Okay. Now what is method overriding? Okay. See, guys, I'll just write method overriding. Suppose you have a child class. Okay. You have a child class and your child class provides implementations, its own implementation of a method. Okay. Defined in the parent class. So what does this definition means? That you have a parent class. In that parent class, you have already a method defined. Okay. Now child class will do what? Child class will also create the method with same name, but it will change the implementation of the method according to its own. Okay. According to its own. Okay. I'll give you a beautiful example, or I'll do what? I'll use the same example which I've used. Where? I have used here. Okay. No, not here. I will create a, okay, different only. Let's say I have again my animal class. Okay. The animal class has again sound in it. Okay. And this sound is does what? It just print animal sound. Okay. This class prints animal sound. Then you have again one more class called as class dog, which inherits the animal class, which inherits the animal class. And the child class has also a method called as sound. Now this does what? This just simply print bark. This just simply print bark in it. Okay. Now I'll create my dog class, means the object of my dog class. And if I'll call using the object of the dog class sound, okay, of dog, and I'll call sound, it will give me bark. Okay. So what is the definition? That I have a parent class. In that parent class, a method is defined. So a method is defined. Okay. But the child class will do what? It will provide its own implementation. Child class has provided its own implementation. So now the child class will do what? It will override the implementation of the parent class. It will override the implementation of the parent class. So parent class is just printing animal sound. Dog class is just change the implementation and it is made to bark. So when I call it sound, so first it prints this sound. Okay, so I get bark here. I get bark here. Okay, guys, I get bark. But the problem here is the problem which we face here is okay, but in that also we can give same name method as you told. So why don't we get similar result? I will again watch that concept and ask you later if I don't understand. Yes, see, ma'am. Um, I'll just quickly tell you one thing. Okay. Try to understand it. Okay. It's very simple. It's not that much complex. See, what happens now? When you use multiple inheritance, okay, and when you get a problem like that, when you get a situation where there are two different classes and both the classes have same function name, just like in polymorphism, okay, but in polymorphism it's not important that they are inheriting from a single parent class. Understand my point. But in multiple inheritance, they are inheriting from a single parent class only, or from single or from double means from two parent class. Okay. So inheritance concept is there. And when you face a problem like that, when you have same function names, so then Python gets confused at which one to use. To solve it, Python uses the MRO concept. That is method resolution order. So that is actually a problem, and for solution of that problem is MRO. Okay, so because that is a interview question that can be asked, that how Python resolves that, because of that I have told you. Okay, polymorphism concept is also similar to that, but in that you are not using inheritance. Okay, got it? So guys, this is what method overriding is all about. Now there is one more example in this method overriding. Okay, it's not over in method overriding. There is one more concept, that now you are calling dog sound, you are getting bark. But what if you want to get this animal sound also? Means you want to call this sound method of the animal class also. So then how you will be able to do that? So if you remember, you have a super. If you remember, you have a super. So you will just say super dot sound method, and now you will see it will print animal sound. So what is this super? So this super is a function. It is a function which is used to refer to the parent class. Okay, so when I write super and I call sound, so now it calls the method of the parent class. So it calls the sound function, sound method of the parent class, that is animal. Animal is the parent class of our class. So now you will see animal sound and bark, both you can get it. Okay. So this is how you can call the parent method also in method overriding, and you can call the child, okay, what child wants to do that also. So this is how you do it. This is how you do it, guys. This is how you do it. Okay. So, okay, beauty's help. Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Okay. I hope you have okay, you have understood. So that's very great. Okay. Um, so that is how you do it, guys. That is how you do it. Okay. So let's keep this much only for today's class. I guess we have a almost okay 1 hour 44 minute session. So I guess this is all for today's session. Okay. We are going to see this much only for today's class. Okay. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys are feeling interested. Okay. Okay, wait. Guys, wait. Don't leave. Guys, everyone, stay here, stay here. One more topic is left. One more topic is left. That is, the topic name is Dunder methods. Okay, the topic name is Dunder methods. 13 people are watching and only 9 likes are there who have not liked the session. So if you guys are understanding it, so please do like this. Okay, do like the session. Sir, Flask, how many videos to come up? Ma'am, there will be total, I guess, 20 videos. Okay. Earlier, I just tried to keep it in 12 videos, but it was means each video was approx 1 hour more. Means that was going 1 hour and more. So I thought that that will be more difficult for you guys to just continuously do for 1 hour. So now I'm doing what? Each session is max of 30 minutes. Okay. Mostly I'll try to keep it within 20 minutes. But if there is a, you know, that sometime topics comes which is very high demanding. Okay. So then max it will go to 30 minutes, but I'll try to keep it within 20 minutes only so that it will be easier for you guys to handle. Till now, Flags, I guess 6, 7 videos of Flags has been launched. Okay. And the rest of the videos are in editing. Okay. And soon, in the next coming week it will be finished also. Okay, I have all created all the videos. Now editor is doing its work and it's being edited. I am also looking out the editing, because in editing there are many things no which we remove it which is not necessary, or there are very important things. So then there is a collaboration work in editing, so because of that it takes time. Yeah. Now guys, one more topic is left, that is the Dunder methods. Okay, now what are these Dunder methods? What are they called? Dunder methods, and they are also known as magic methods. Okay, what are those magic methods? So these magic methods are the methods which begins and ends with the double underscore. Okay, like the init is a special method. So magic methods are also a kind of a special method only with their special use cases. Okay, so as we know that init is used as a constructor, so just like that, we have one more which is called as underscore str underscore. Okay, now why it is used for, how it is used for, we'll talk about it. But without these magic method, what happens? Okay, so without these magic methods, output is not user friendly. Okay, output is not friendly user friendly, means you don't get any output. But with these magic methods you get a means the moment you create an object, no, you get the output. Okay, so I'll show you how to use this magic method underscore str underscore. Okay, so I'll just write class. I'll create a class called as student, and in this I will do what? I'll create a constructor in it, self dot name, and let me take a name variable also, equals to name. Okay, then I'll go and I'll use this magic method str. It will also take self, and in this I'll return that student. Okay, student, like this, and I'll say self dot name. That's all. Okay, now you see, I have not created a method, I've created a special method. Okay, so when you create a method, you need to call that method. Now I don't need to call any method. Okay, I'll do what? I'll create a student object of my student class. I'll give my, let's say, MSD, my favorite player name. Okay, and then I'll print my student object. So the moment you print your student object, no, you get a message. You get a message, student MSD. Whatever you are returning in the str, if you print the object, you will get that message. Okay, but if I'll show you the same thing. Oh, my bad. If I'll show you the same thing, but without this, if I show you same thing without this, now when I'll print the object, you see a information that your object is present at this memory location. So this is not user friendly. This is what I was talking about. This is not user friendly. But if you want to give a user friendly message like this, so use this underscore str underscore. Okay, got it? So this is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. Now again, if I want to print the length of this student, if I want to print the length of this student, So it will give me a type error that you cannot do this. Okay. So suppose how many parameters I am taking. Who is going to tell me that? Okay. So for that also, you can create a method, okay, in which you can use length. Let me show you that method. Okay. So I'll do what? Let's create one more class. Let's say now my class name, I'm creating a class for storing book shelves. Okay. So book shelves, and I'll create the constructor. I'll take self in it. Okay. And after taking self, I'll say self dot books equals to books. Okay. And I'll take parameter for books like this. Okay. Then I'll say self dot underscore length. Okay. Now I'll use the magic method length. I'll use the magic method length. Low voice. I don't know, man. Everything seems good only. Okay. Okay. Let me just speak louder. Then it will be clear. So self. Self. It will take self like this. Now in this you can return the length of your self dot books. Okay. And that's all. Okay, that's all. Now you'll do what? You will go and create the object called as self. Okay, now call your class book self. Inside this, give a list. Inside this list, give Python, give all the names. Okay, give AI and other names like a book for data science, like this kind of things. Okay, now guys, when you will when you will print the length of your when you will print the length of your object self. So now you will get what? How many books are there? Three. So you will get three here. Okay. So these are the magic methods which are used. Okay. So these are few magic methods. There are many more, but these are the common ones which is used. So we are going to see this much only. Okay. Now it is over. Now it's time for to give you the assignments. Okay. So the assignments are, okay, time for the assignment. Let me just give you the assignment. So these are your question, guys. Okay. First is create a vehicle. Okay. So take a screenshot of this. I'm just pausing my screen. Okay. I'm just paused my screen. Take a screenshot of this. Okay. So create a vehicle class and inherit from this to 8. Okay. This much. Take a screenshot of it. Then I'm scrolling it down from 9 to 15. Okay. So from 9 to 15 you have take a screenshot of this. Okay. So that's all guys for this live session. Thank you so much for joining the session. Thank you so much for making this session so much engageful. And thank you so much for interacting with me. Although today was very less viewers, okay, I guess because of Sunday, but I have yesterday only I have informed everyone that you guys must join us because tomorrow is going to be a very important topic, okay? And I just want to be consistent because see, now 10 people are watching and those 10 people are serious, okay? So if you guys are serious, so I'll be also serious for you guys. So that's why, okay? Although I was also feeling very sleepy, okay, but because I have a commitment to you guys, okay, so I also want you guys to just commit yourself towards learning Python and I'll be helping that. Okay. So that's all, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the session. Okay, it feels great. Uh, that's all. Piyush Kumar signing off. We'll see you in the next session, probably tomorrow. So bye bye. Take care. Ending the session now.